What day is this?
It's Mail It In Friday.
Yeah, well, the dude abides.
This is OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
All right, here we go. OverDrive off and running. Look where we are. I can't even finish the intro because this is so cool. We're at BMO Field. Look at that shot, man. If you're watching on TSN 4 or streaming live on YouTube, live on TSN's YouTube channel, this is big time.
Big time.
Big time. We are field side. Argos Alouettes tonight, CFL on TSN. We are right in the danger zone as well. Someone's throwing a football over here.
100%.
And by the way, is the temperature not like it got winter here, like in the last 4 minutes?
Yeah, it's cold.
It's freezing.
In the shade. But I didn't realize we were going to have a camera from behind. We're going to get the bald spot. We've got to tell, like, Eddie and
I
Franklin
was worried about that.
Dial back on that as well. We don't need that.
I almost called for an audible because they were in my ear right before I was starting, and they're like, there's going to be a shot coming through, and the first thing I thought of was Noodles in your dome
bald
piece.
spot. Yeah, you can't have that.
That's aggressive way to start, but it's a beautiful night. We're live at BMO Field again ahead of the Argos Alouettes. Big game tonight, big playoff implications. We've got Ryan Dinwiddie coming up.
Yep.
I'm going to talk to the coach before the game. He's going to sit right beside you, Noodles.
Love it.
Yeah,
He's fired up, though.
He's a fiery guy.
We'll get him going.
He was going at your Elks last week when they found a way to
kicking at them.
Yeah, he wasn't happy with basically the whole operation.
Well, listen, you're saying my Elks. Listen,
that's your home team.
I grew up watching at the time it was called the Eskimos, Edmonton Eskimos. Now it's the Edmonton Elks. I worked for the team. I was the laundry boy when I was 15, 16, 17. And then when I turned pro, I kind of moved on. I was only there for 2 weeks. Joey Moss was my boss. It was awesome.
That's amazing.
It's great.
And you saved that place, right?
Well,
like you have written about that. You've told us all about that.
We'll get into that story later. I did save Commonwealth Stadium.
You did. You personally found a way to save that.
Yeah.
So
I noticed my Partsy's not here either, prepping. He's nowhere to be found.
Yeah, Luke Wilson, there's an aura about Luke. Like, everyone knows he's coming here tonight. It's Friday Night Football. Wherever it happens to be, that's where he's going to be. And he's here tonight.
What, is he going to come down the tunnel like the Macho Man? Like,
I don't know what his entrance is here. And I'm with you. We've been here for a couple hours.
Yeah.
The three of us got here really early.
Yeah, I was
almost too early.
Well, I was worried about traffic getting down.
Right.
Obviously, the Gardner is what it is right now. There's some messes there. But
the Gardner's a mess. The Lakeshore is a disaster. There's always a lot of people down here. It's a Friday night. There's concerts going on across the street at Budweiser Stage.
Everything. There's an atmosphere.
Yeah, there's an atmosphere. But you're right. I have not even seen Luke.
Oh.
And he's going to join us. He'll be here in studio with us in like 90 minutes.
You think he rides his bike down here? That would be a hero move.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't either, man. He would do that type of thing.
Yeah, he would. And bother people.
Yeah. And act like the cool guy carrying the helmet in with the tights on.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if he gets to
Cleats.
leave a suit here at BMO.
Maybe.
Possibly. He's got that kind of clout.
Or you could ask the trainers to kind of lock it up and, bring it around type of thing. Like, I don't know. I think
that'd be aggressive if he asked the Argos if he could use the showers before the broadcast tonight. Like if he biked down here and he was, obviously a mess because it's like it would take a long time to get here. Because there were guys who used to do that. I remember we used to do shows. We'd do remotes down here at the X.
Yeah.
And Dave Poulin would do that. Pooley, I'd be doing a sit down with Pooley, and Pooley would ride his bike down.
I remember that.
Wasn't it that green bike? It was called like Betsy or something that. He rode his bike around.
Yeah, and he'd be like sweating.
Didn't he wheel it right into the
profusely.
booth? No, he didn't wheel it up there in the booth.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd pull it like it would be right beside Noodles, chained.
Yeah. Chained like somebody's going to steal it.
Right. There's 50,000 kilometers on that bike. And Gord Miller used to claim he would bike up to Agincourt.
What?
To do shows. That's what he claimed. I don't believe he ever did it.
I think that's fake news.
He claimed he would bike from Yonge and Eglinton in Toronto to the Scarborough Town Center.
It's aggressive. Now, Gord's in great shape. He just turned 60, and like I see him in the gym on the road all the time. He works out hard.
Yeah, you got to do it. He's in there every day.
I'm calling fake news.
I don't think he ever did it. I think he talked a big game. I never witnessed him do it.
No.
Or he said he did it, and he had actually he had chained his bike up down the street.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be the kind of move he would pull off.
It's like a marathon runner that took the cab in New York City or whatever, or
Right.
the subway.
Drive it all the
up.
way there, and then
Yeah.
bike it in when people see you coming. and
Yeah.
like that. That might be something Gord would pull off.
Might
but
be Gord.
yeah, it's going to be a fun one tonight, and it's a big weekend in sports. The Jays technically have a chance to clinch tonight if they win, and two of the Tigers, the Guardians, or the Red Sox lose tonight.
Champagne.
They might have a party this evening.
And they should. Do you,
Well,
do you
of
agree with
course.
it? Like, if they make it regardless,
Absolutely.
you're trying to lock up the AL, but I'm saying if they make the playoffs tonight,
You
it's
party.
champagne,
you
champagne
hit
and
it
party.
hard, man.
You
hit
do
it
multiple
hard.
parties.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
night till the end of the season.
Yeah, that's how baseball works.
I'm
like
fine
if
with
you
that.
once you clinch, you party.
Yeah.
If you win the division, you party.
Yeah.
I think if you maybe win the American League, they might have 3 parties
Exactly.
Yeah.
in 10 days.
Yeah.
Which is great.
I love it. Nobody parties like the Phillies, though, man.
Well, no.
Nobody. They like to get down and dirty and get after it.
Yeah,
those
they do.
teams Down there.
And every year, ever since Harper arrived, they go to the playoffs every single
Philadelphia's
year.
kind of had a nice little run here with some sports teams, eh? Like that kind of was quiet for years, and then the Flyers are what they're doing, but the Eagles.
You're right. The
like,
Eagles,
the Phillies, like they're good teams, right?
they
Like,
are. They are. The Sixers, they got to figure out what Joel Embiid's ever going to do in the future. But you're right. The Eagles had never won a Super Bowl. Now they've won 2 in the last
I mean, that's
6 or 7 years.
that's a party there.
I don't think they're going anywhere either, man. The Eagles.
I don't think they are either.
By
you
the
know,
way, you went away from your divisional game last night.
in terms of our theory and how to bet.
Yes. You got just so fired up on
about
the Buffalo
about the
Bills, man.
number. Is that
Or
listen?
how bad Miami is.
I would have taken Buffalo. I think everybody would have taken Buffalo on this planet.
Yes. And they won the game.
Yes.
Like they didn't cover the 11.5. They won by 10. If Prater, who just arrived 2 weeks ago, hits a field goal in the first half, maybe it's a different story. But what happened last night was an example of, it doesn't matter the sport. There was no way the Bills were losing, and there was no way the Dolphins were winning. And I know it was close at times. I know the Bills, to put this into perspective, the Bills win by 10 last night, and they're not happy.
yeah.
Right? It's one of those games where you're like, you're unhappy. And
I think they're happy. They just wanted to get it done.
But
man.
you know what?
I'm talking about the defense wasn't great. Tua carved them up at times, and the offense was a bit stagnant early.
Wow.
You're so confident. It seeps into arrogance where you're like, man, we should have crushed that team, and we didn't.
Let me ask you this: is it a different game though? That roughing the kicker call. That's
was
your TSN
massive.
turning point.
That was the game.
That was the game right there because Miami was hanging around.
They were, to their credit, because they were desperate.
Yeah.
It was a divisional game, like you said. McDaniel's coaching for his life. Tua's trying to keep it together.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill, I don't know what he's still got in the tank, but it was, that's it now. It was over anyway for Miami, but you're 0-3, you're done.
Yeah.
But the Bills are 3-0, and they're in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
Right? So it's them, the Eagles, the
they're-
Ravens are going to be really good. and-
They're a good team. Like the Bills didn't look worried. There was no panic in their
and
game whatsoever.
that's my point.
that
right.
McDaniel speech, he had another doozy last night.
I missed that one.
What did he say?
I missed that one.
He was just.
What was he saying?
He doesn't know what he's saying anymore. He does not know what he's
I-
saying
yeah.
anymore. I can't believe you guys didn't see it.
I didn't. I missed that.
Was it
one.
after the game?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I missed that.
I missed it as well because I
usually
turned
right
it
on
off
top
when
of
the
that.
game was over. I'm like, I don't need to hear from this guy. Like, unfortunately, he's reached that point
yeah.
where it's not something that's necessary because you understand where this is going. He's not going to likely be down there.
Was
for
it
long.
like George Bush type of thing? Like
It was. He was like, you kind of want your quarterback, JP. You must have this. Like
There's
it
gotta
was,
be
it was
something there.
insanity.
Okay.
It was complete insanity.
I missed it because usually that's something. A clip will come up. Your Twitter feed or whatever, saying, "Listen to this guy here. He knows he's done." I didn't see anything on him. I just assumed. Now I don't know. He didn't get his walking papers today.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
They
Maybe
played pretty. I thought Miami played.
they showed some fight last night.
They did.
They showed a little bit of fight. And listen, I'm not calling for the guy's head. I'm not saying I
No.
want to see him fire. I'm not a Dolphin fan. I don't care. It doesn't make a difference to me.
Right.
But now you got a bit of a longer week. They have a bye week late in the year. You might wait to that point. In the NFL, they just don't fire coaches a lot. Like you got to pull an Urban Meyer to get fired early in the season, or you got to have an owner that's just crazy.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
like
fair.
that's the balance. You either have someone that doesn't get on the team plane and then goes to a bar and starts
dancing
and tickling and doing stuff that he shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
Or you have an owner that just has so much money and is way too invested and way too emotional and just says, fire this guy.
Yeah.
If you don't have either of those two things, and by all accounts that doesn't apply to Miami,
Like,
then
who's ready to go in there with NFL coaches? Like, the hiring process is so complex. It's like you got to bring so many people in, and
that's the point. That's why once you've gotten through camp and you've established everything,
there's
it's
no
very
one out there.
It's very difficult to do it. So they're probably just going to wait the year, and then they'll go a different direction next season.
There isn't an elite coach out there that has been let go somewhere else that's just waiting in the wings, is there?
There's always guys.
But
I mean, there's Belichick who's still out there, clearly.
Well, he's got his own problems.
He has his own problems.
Like
and that's quieted down immediately, right? Like, North Carolina had that first big game where Jordan showed up and LT and everyone was focused on them, and now no one cares anymore.
Yeah.
Like, nobody cares about North Carolina in terms of a national audience.
I haven't heard one thing about that.
Me
or
neither.
him
You know what?
or anything.
You'll
Nothing.
only hear if something goes sideways in a negative way. If they win, you're not going to hear one word. People are dying to watch the car crash. They want him to have an 0-4 season. They want the girlfriend to be on the sidelines
running
in
the
a trench
operation.
coat, like all of these things. They want that. They do not want Belichick to rattle off a bunch of wins and for everybody to settle in, because it doesn't fit the narrative of what people want to watch.
Yeah.
And like I say, I haven't heard anything since that first game, but I haven't really paid attention.
It's quieted down. I mean, he had the beef with the Patriots, and Mike Vrabel shot back at him, and that's about it. But, they're trying to turn over that program. It's going to take time. We'll see what happens with Belichick. But, again, we're live at BMO Field. We're going to be here all night. Luke Wilson will join us. Keith Pelley will join us around the table. So the president and the CEO of Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, he's got a lot going on.
He does.
Obviously, with the Leafs in camp. And I saw today, I guess the big news is Morgan Rielly is going to get that opportunity on Power Play 1. I think we all saw that one coming. And
yeah, there's no...
And Domi's going to slide in on that top line, and they're going to work things around there. And I was thinking about it today, and I think Tree Living spoke to this, and I'm pretty sure Berube has as well.
By the way, are you surprised at Rielly going on the power play, Hayes? Like, who else
No.
was going to do it?
Well, if they were going to stick to 5 forwards, who would it be?
Yeah.
Do you give
I don't have that answer.
Okay, maybe 10 games in, if it's not working, or they have not working is the wrong word. If they don't have as much jam or maybe need to mix it up, if that Michelli is settled in, apparently he's a nice passer. So let's see. But again, I don't think you do
But
it.
the thing with Mitch, though, he was so defensively responsible.
That's the point.
That's the thing.
That's where I was going to go. Mitch Marner, it was really good defensively. So they trusted him to be. You're not having Michelli back there.
No.
You don't know how he is defensively and if he's got great anticipation and a great stick. That's what Mitch Marner. I said this before. There is going to be the trickle-down effect. They will adjust. There's a lot of talented players. Morgan Rielly used to run that power play. So I think it's going to help his season because he's going to get some extra points on the power play that he didn't get last year. Helps with confidence. It helps with handling the puck. He's lighter. He's more focused. All of this type of stuff. It's fitting the narrative of him having a great year. I hope he does.
Well, yeah, they need him to do that.
They need him.
They
and
need
we
him
love
to have a big season.
But at the end of the day, like, you are going to see, who the mainstays are. JT's a mainstay, Nylander's a mainstay, Matthews and Nyes. Really, I mean, those guys are.
Yeah.
I think that's what their power play is. Morgan Rielly just goes back, distributes the puck.
It's either Rielly, maybe it's Ekman Larson at some point. Possibly.
OEL's got a big shot.
Yeah.
Thing is
I love the big shot back there.
I do
It's
too.
been lacking. For
I
a
do
long
too,
time. I know.
because you don't. If you have a
And
shot,
he dishes the puck well enough too.
yeah. But if you have a shot, all of your penalty kill has to go. Okay, we got to respect that. We'll give that, but there's certain power plays that establish the shot. Then you start working it lower and have talented guys that can take it to the net. But you have to have established that shot. OEL is a really good shooter. He's got a great shot. If Morgan Rielly can have that snapshot from the point, establish a shot, get it moving around, they'll be fine.
Well, he's a veteran. He's been in the league for a long time. He's played the power play a lot. It's just each day something else is kind of trickling out in terms of what their plans are. And he was, Berube was asked again about Michelli and Domi may be back on the ice this weekend. And it does seem like they're pretty committed to giving Max that opportunity with the two guys, with Nyes and Matthews. And I think the way they're setting this up is like there's 4 lines and there's going to be pairs on each. It's going to be Matthews and Nyes. It's going to be Willie and Tavares. It's going to be Waugh and Joshua, and probably Lawton and Lorentz, I would think.
Yeah.
And that leaves Domi, Michelli, McMahon, Cowan, Yarncroke, Robertson,
Camp
possibly. Like, that's 7 guys who can fill out 4 more roles, and you're going to have a very specific spot. Like, you're finding a way to play with the 2 other guys who are basically defining what the line is.
Yep. There's too many bodies. Tree said it to us the other day. It's a good problem to have. They got a lot of NHL players. Now you decide who's going to force their way in. You know, the luxury with a guy like Cowan, that he doesn't need waivers, right? So if you feel like you want to keep other guys around, no problem, then you can find a spot for Cowan. But if Cowan
other guys around them, we talked about it last year. Like, what are you going to do with those bodies that are just those guys?
Well, you put them on waivers and you get them to the Marlies if you can, and if not, you lose maybe a player on waivers. It's happened before. I mean, the Leafs have the tradition. It feels like they lose somebody on waivers. Yearly.
I think they might be okay with that if you lose, David Camp or something like that.
The question is exactly what player.
The cap hit's coming off you.
Exactly. Like, what player would you be fine with? Maybe, okay, if another team took a chance on him, moved away from you, exactly. Cap hit, another contract, all of that type of stuff.
Yeah, and you would think if there was a market out there for them, they'd probably be taken by now. That's the thing. Like, a guy like Camp kind of played his way out of Berube's kind of system last year. He's got 2 years left at 2.5.
He doesn't come back. He's not going to wake up.
Generally doesn't.
No.
But how many teams in the league are looking for a guy at 2 years at $2.5 million that is
probably
a 13th forward in the league?
Yeah, probably not. But then, there are teams. I still feel this is maybe a little bit of a unique summer. We didn't see people go crazy in free agency. We didn't see a lot of PTOs. We are seeing PTOs trickle in, but now it might be, hey, let's look at what waivers are going to do. Teams might be looking to flush out. Everyone thinks they've got their own player in that spot. Hey, we got a young kid that's going to slot in there. Training camp will sort that out.
Yeah,
they look
that's
at
the
it
beauty
and go,
of it,
that kid's not ready. We're going to grab somebody off waivers.
Start playing this weekend.
Yeah.
Like, the Leafs are in Ottawa on Sunday night.
It was a Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, Sunday they're playing. And, so you got hockey going. Raptors are going to be in town in the next couple of weeks. You got the Argos playing tonight. Big playoff implications.
This is a big game tonight.
The NFL, you get the Ryder Cup next week.
Got the coach standing there. We better get him in here.
Yeah, he's going to.
He's staring. See, I can't see
he's giving us the desk there, saying, let's move it along.
Let's
get moving.
Exactly.
I thought it might be security because this guy walked on the field earlier. I don't think he was allowed to do that.
I wanted to see him.
Dude, you told me. You said that other guy's on the field.
Well, that guy's an employee.
He walked out there in dress shoes and a suit. I was waiting for him to do he was Rob Ford.
You were doing the old school, like, I'm back in the pros, 50-yard line, touching the grass.
That grass is just so perfect.
It does look
the most perfect grass.
What would happen if he dropped his headset and just went for a sprint?
Why don't we
get tackled by security? No way.
Why don't we try to do it? We'll bring Dinwiddie in during the break. See if you can get to the 50-yard line and back.
Oh, dude, I'm not going to the 50.
Why not?
What's about 20?
Okay. O's going to the 20. Give us a 40-yard dash.
All right, I'll do a 40.
O's going to the 40 and back.
No way. There's a guy over there that will, knock you out.
Great.
They're on the field, man.
They're on the field. There's like a lineman that's going to knock him out. You'd be waiting for him.
All right, we'll ask Dinwiddie. Ryan can tell you if he can do it or not. If you get the green light, 40-yard and back.
High stepping.
We'll put cameras on it. We'll post it online. Everyone can see it. Maybe
I'm not doing back. Just give me 40. And I'm in a suit and
You're going to walk it anyway. Are you going to run it?
I'll run it.
Okay, 40-yard dash in the break. Ryan Dinwiddie, head coach of the Argos, will join us next.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, Overdrive continues, powered by FanDuel, bringing you everything from the opening line to the final score. We are live on location, BMO Field, Argos, Alouettes tonight. This is a field trip, man. This is what you're looking for. And we are right here at the end zone, and you got some players starting to come out, I believe. You got the cheerleaders cooking tonight. And there's the head coach, Ryan Dinwiddie, joining us around the table. How you doing, Ryan?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Great to see you, man. Is this okay with you? I know it's a game day prep. We're not throwing you off, are we?
All good as long as the receivers don't have pat and go.
We know we're getting one right off the noggin.
Yeah.
We're waiting for that.
I told one of our quarterbacks to make sure one flies by and gets you guys right in your deal. So
that's our concern. Is someone's going to come out here and see us and be like, we got to take a shot at these guys. But it's great to see you, and you can't ask for anything better than this, man. The weather's beautiful. It's a big one for you guys tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a a opportunity for us to get back in the standings, right? We obviously haven't played our best football early in the year. We're starting to get going, building confidence and understand the team that we can be.
So game day prep right now, we're interrupting it pretty much. I mean, as a coach, are you just kind of relaxing before the game, or is it all systems? You have systems meetings, everything like that? Talk to the players individually?
Yeah, so I just got done. I put the call sheet together, right? I like to put some of our one-word footballs. We always write it in as one word, right? We go fast. It's our fast football stuff. So we put that down on the call sheet, got that in there as far as down distance. And, the players starting to circle in and, get in the building. So, I think we're ready. I think we're ready for Noel to be aggressive offensively, right? And then Jason's going to take some shots. We know Matt can throw the ball down the field. So our corners, right, going to have a big game. And, we got to stop the run. So looking forward to it. It's been a tough stretch, but I think that now we're kind of growing into the football team that we believe we were at the start of the season.
You wheel out there in the field now. You'll oftentimes see coaches like little pump-up sessions with all the guys while they're stretching or whatever. Do you do that, or you just stay away from that?
I really don't. Right. No, I know last week's in a different.
Yeah,
We're going to get to that in a minute.
We're going to get to that.
Yeah, so I normally don't. I don't, go shake their hands. I did it a few different times. We always lost, so I feel like our work prep throughout the week, and certain players you talk to a different way as far as motivating those things. But I think at this stage, let's just go out and play football and feel comfortable going out there and playing with confidence.
So what were the Elks doing last week? That was it bothering you? Were you getting You were getting fired up with that team, man. It was a big win for you guys. But take us through the whole kind of process of going back and forth with the Elks, and then what happened at the end of the game there.
Well, I'm an emotional guy, right? And my players know that, right? Throughout the week, like you guys get to see it on game day when it's on TV, but I'm like that all the time. So, ownership gave us the opportunity, especially with me, to be the leader of this franchise, right? Very appreciative of the opportunity. Want to win more Grey Cups, right? Like, we won 2 here, but like every day, if you don't go out to win one, as far as your process each day, right? To give you your opportunity to do that. That's very important to me, especially the city of Toronto, too. I really love the city. I think there's a lot of different cities across Canada that you really want to work for, but this one really, takes onus with me. And, I had the opportunity. And our players, really feel that, too. They want to rock for the 6, right? So, we stubbed our toe, like I said, early. And, now we're trying to get back to where we normally were, right? So a lot of hard work to do.
In terms of the interactions with other players, like the Alouettes, if they're going at you tonight, how do you respond to players during the game wearing the other jerseys?
Yeah, I don't think I have to expect that too much. Obviously learn from that, right? Like I said, I live my, life a certain way. I'm emotional, I have my heart on my sleeve. I think our players, like that as well. Some of my players didn't even know what happened after the game. They came up to me, Coach, you're crazy. I'm like, I know. But I think they understand that, right? They appreciate that. But at the same time, we got to be respectful for our opponents. Jason does a great job. Noel does a really good job, right? So Noel Thorpe on defense, he's going to give us some headaches. So we got to be ready for that. But, it's going to be a hard-fought game. It's going to be a very physical game. And, I hope both sides talk with their pads.
Is that the biggest challenge, too? Like, we've had Luke on quite a bit talking about the CFL and talking about him being here. But he said one of the biggest things he's noticed, which was different from where he came in the NFL, was both teams are on the same side. And it's literally, a little, not even a divider. So obviously plays happen, guys, run by, there's a little chirping. There's always trash talking in pro sports. So I think, as you mentioned, the emotions get high, all of that type of stuff. But the fact that you're so close makes it probably a little bit easier to interact in a positive or negative way.
Yeah, sometimes it's positive, sometimes it's negative, right? I think both sidelines is tough, but we obviously make that decision as a league as far as advertisement and those things. And, you got to understand that going into it. But, yeah, I think the tempers and the emotions of the football game can get the better of you, especially towards the end. And again, I got to do a better job at that. But, I think at the same time, let my players know, like, we're in here to win it. And, we're in a tough spot, right? So each day is more important for us collectively to, the details and the things we have to do as far as our process to be better each day to find a way to be successful on game day.
If somebody went up to you and said, you got to find a spot for the 3 of us to go on the field, a position, like, where would you put us, you think?
Well, I think we'd have one kicker, one holder, and then you be our long snapper. What do you think?
Yes,
Long snapper.
100%.
The long snapper are grit grinders,
Oh,
aren't
yeah.
they? Like they're just.
That's a quad XL uni,
Yeah.
right? Just a massive helmet with one bar.
The holder.
That's
holder.
you.
That's laces
Well,
out, isn't that?
I know
Oh,
he's a
dang.
hockey guy, right? And I'm learning hockey as I go.
Yeah.
You know, being in Canada. Well, Getzlaff, the brother, obviously the hockey
Yeah.
player.
Yeah, of course.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Great
right.
player.
Well, Chris used to run routes like he had skates on. It was just so amazing to see. So, I got to give him some respect as far as the way he ran routes. I'm like, dude, were you on hockey skates?
Yeah, no kid. He was a
Amazing.
good player, man.
very
The
good.
Getzlaff brothers, they're true athletes. Ryan Dinwiddie with us, head coach of the Argos Alouettes tonight here at BMO Field. You guys have won now 3 in a row. And, you mentioned it, since you've been here, you've won 2 Grey Cups. You got a third-string quarterback now. Nick's out. Obviously, Chad hasn't been available to you all year. How would you compare and contrast, how much you've had to coach this year in terms of inspiration, in terms of, hitting the tape room, in terms of trying to get your guys up off the mat? Because there's been years where you guys have been cruising. I mean, a couple of years ago, you had one of the greatest regular seasons of all time, maybe the greatest. You've won multiple Grey Cups. Again, this year, almost since day one, feels like you guys have been grinding a little bit more. Have you felt that in terms of your own coaching experience?
Well, I think each week's different, right? I think even the 16-2 year, maybe I could have done a better job to get us, through the East Final that week. Those ones always live with you, especially with the opportunity that you had with such a great team, right? But I think, where we're at this year, we're just grinding, like trying to find ways to win. Maybe we were a little bit more confident in the early weeks, thinking we can get it done. So it's been a progress, right, and a process for us. And I'll tell you one thing about our locker room. I think some people, listen to what I say in the post-game stuff, and I, like I said, I'm an emotional coach, but those guys have never wavered ever, and I have a great relationship with them. But they know I'm gonna push them hard, and if I wasn't pushing them hard, how are we gonna win football games, right?
Right.
How do you make it back when you push them hard and you lose your mind and you go crazy in the media? How do you get back to kind of level to kind of make things right again, or you just don't bother, you move on?
No, I did the first time, right? I said, look, guys.
I mean, I know it's the big leagues. You're not going to say sorry I said that, but
No, but it was in the media, right? And that's one of the things I say we don't, we keep everything in house, right? And then I went out of house with that one, trying to send a message, and I always try to, right? But it probably wasn't the right message at that time. But then those guys responded, and they understood it, and they know who I am. I'm pretty authentic, I would say, with them each day. And I like to go into work in this building. I mean, it's fun. I know we've had some tough times. We're struggling, and we're not where we've been the last 4 years. But you get a chance to play professional football and coach professional football, right? And those guys understand who I am.
So tonight you got Jared Daggy playing quarterback for you. As I mentioned, Arbuckle's been great this year. Chad hasn't been available to you. When you're dealing with a quarterback who's coming in a situation like this in a big game, how do you balance between letting him play, letting it loose, but protecting him? How do you handle that tonight?
Yeah, so we were talking about it yesterday. So the one things I like to do as a play caller is let our quarterbacks play, right? So now we might have to shrink the package a little bit. I can't ask him to be Nick, right? Nick's at a playing at MOP level, moving the pocket, different things, right? I think, Daggy can as far as using his legs. But, we got to get the ball of his hand. We got to do different things. We got to run the football. Might have to screen him a little bit early. We can't, put it all on his shoulders. If you run the ball on first down, you're stuck in second and long forever. That's the hardest thing for a young quarterback, right? So, every coordinator wants to do that. Let's run the football. Let's run the football. Well, every defense coordinator is going, let's stop the run. Right? Let's get him second long. So if you want to live in that mindset, and I'm not going to handcuff him by any means, we're going to let him go play football.
Well, it's a big one tonight. Again, you're right there with the Alouettes. Next week, you're at BC. You kind of competing with teams in the West as well in terms of possible crossover this year. Then you got Hamilton at home. Then you finish at Saskatchewan, at Calgary. It's a tough schedule. Do you allow yourself to look ahead, or every coach is going to say we stay in the moment? But I mean, this one feels like it's about as big as it can get.
Well, it is. I haven't, tried to tell our players that, right? I just want them to go play football. It's another football game. Let's go compete, right? You never know. I mean, still got 5 games left, right? Yep. We got to probably win 3 out of 5, potentially 4 out of 5. That's just where we're at. So I just want those guys to go have fun, play football, compete, understand the down and distance, some of the, stuff we teach all week. And, I mean, lay it on the line. I don't
Absolutely.
want them playing tight by any means. I want them to go out there. If we're going to make a mistake, let's make it, full speed. And we also got to understand we're going to make mistakes, right? It's a full 60, but the end of the 60, let's stick together. Let's find a way to win the football game.
Love it. We've got Wynton McManis coming in about 10 minutes. Anything we need to be prepared for?
No, he's one of my favorites. We get after Wynton. We always make fun of him. He thinks Memphis football's the best, and I think Boise's a better football club than Memphis. So that's about it for him.
All right, we'll make sure he knows that when he joins us. Great seeing you, Coach. Thanks for doing this. Good luck tonight.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.
You got it. There he is, Ryan Dinwiddie, head coach of the Argos, joining us again. Wynton McManis will join us around the table. Keith Pelley coming up into hour 2. Luke. Somewhere. We don't know where Luke Wilson is, but he's somewhere.
Still not here.
Yeah, he's on a bike.
Probably biking down the lakeshore right now on his way down to BMO Field. But we're teeing up the game tonight. Argos Owls, 2-pack of games on the CFL on TSN tonight. OverDrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
911 Nashville, what's your emergency?
Sunday on TSN 1050. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs take on Malik Neighbors and the New York Giants. Coverage starts at 8 p.m. Hear it all on TSN 1050. The NFL lives here. Now, back to OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, Luke Wilson will join us around the table in about 15 minutes. Keith Pelley coming up at 5:30, President and CEO of MLSC. We're live at BMO Field ahead of the Argos and the Alouettes tonight. Brian Hayes, the O-Dog, Jeff O'Neill, Jamie Noodles, McLennan. Some players starting to pour out, and you just realize how massive some of these guys are, and like the idea of just being blown up.
I know.
Like just trying to come across the middle, think you're so cool,
It's so
and
hard.
just get destroyed by one of these guys.
I can't imagine, man.
Just monsters.
It's
Like
such a different
monsters.
mentality.
Yeah.
Like you guys in the NHL, there were monsters,
Well,
and there were guys out there to hurt.
In our day, yes, there were guys that were, quote unquote tough guys that were
Scotty Stevens.
Yeah, I played with Tony Twist. He was 6 feet 250.
Right.
But
But he's looking to fight too.
yes,
Like
he
he's
wants
looking to
knock
kill
your head
people.
off. Like it's different now. You look at NHL players now; they don't carry extra weight. Lean, tall, lean, fast. It's all speed. Here, you're looking at linemen who can actually run a 4.40 or a 4.640
That's the amazing
or
thing.
whatever it is.
Yeah, when you see the clock on some of these guys running a 40 at like just absurd speeds,
Yes.
and
Like,
you
that's
realize
crazy.
exactly what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
If you're trying to like break through a tackle or something, and this guy's right behind you.
Yeah.
But I do wonder if that's going to swing back, in the NHL where like size and muscle.
Mutants? Yeah.
Well, you see players fluctuate. Like Matthew Nyes this year has added weight. He's
Yeah.
a big dude already.
Yeah, he's 6'3", man, 223.
Yeah, he's a massive, massive guy.
yeah.
And then you see other players who they're trying to lose 10 or 15 pounds.
Yeah. Stuart Skinner.
Exactly. Now he plays a unique position, but
But still, like if you carry weight, like you have to be good in your position. You think a guy like Nyes, I want to maybe lose some weight, be faster. He's already tremendously fast.
Mhm.
You add another 5 pounds or 7 pounds of muscle onto that. That's just he's gonna win a lot more loose puck battles in the
Right.
corner, like little things, details of his game.
right, which is still where physicality matters.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
can't clutch and grab anymore, and that's why a lot of the guys back in the day were so huge. They
Yes.
just take up space and they grab, and you couldn't go anywhere, you couldn't do anything.
Darian Hatchers of the world. Just
Yeah.
grabbing.
And that took away a lot of the hits back in that day because it slowed everything down. There was no now
Yeah.
if you really wanted to crush some guys out there now, you could do some serious damage, but
Yeah.
it doesn't happen a lot.
Well, also you're putting yourself in the
Yeah.
danger zone by
Yeah.
throwing a hit.
Well,
The guy's flying through the middle of the ice.
and
you
there's
gotta-
nobody holding up, and they're moving, man.
yeah.
you got to time it though, because if you hit him and you hit his head or whatever, like nowadays it's an art. Back then it seemed like everybody in the corner just pile on, and you mentioned the Scott Stevens of the world. They're waiting for you to come across the middle, and they were there. Like,
Well, that's the thing. Like Stevens, his biggest hits, Lindros notwithstanding, Lindros was massive. He was bigger than Stevens.
Korea, who was it?
But Korea, he got Vyacheslav Kozlov coming through the middle of the ice in
His
Detroit.
Remember his helmet was on.
Helmet was sideways,
He got
backwards.
He got Ronnie Francis in Carolina, Shane Willis in one playoff series.
Yeah, like those
Yeah.
are not like massive guys,
No.
Yeah.
and they weren't flying. They just
Right.
didn't. They weren't ready for him. They had their head down,
Yeah.
and he came through and was
Yeah.
like, "I'm getting you, man.
Yeah, I'll be waiting for you.
I'm
over here."
waiting for you."
Yeah.
And like that doesn't really exist anymore. Again, because of rule changes, because of what we know about, concussions and safety and
Yeah.
the speed of the game. And the idea of like trying to step up and stop a guy with a hit. You get burned now, it goes the other way. You got to go back to the bench and explain that to your coach.
And you look like an idiot getting caught flat-footed, if the guy walks you.
Exactly.
So I think everything is now spacing and force everything to the outside. Like the lack of physicality. Now, we see it in the playoffs. All of a sudden, the
Intimidation
game,
still matters,
all of a
man.
sudden, the game shrinks.
Yep.
And the physicality is there. On a Tuesday in November, not so much. But in the playoffs, it means something.
Well, that's it. With like football, we had Dinwiddie on, and he said it's gonna be a hard hitting, like tough game, man.
Yeah.
That's the trenches.
Yeah.
Like that's big boys battling, and like we're here on the field, and you guys have all been up close and personal for football games. To hear these guys run into each other, man, it's like unsettling almost.
It is. Those are car accidents. That's what it is. There's big guys, and and the speed and the strength of guys. It's amazing.
Absolutely. Speaking of which, a guy who's very familiar with blowing people up all over BMO Field, all over the Canadian Football League. Here's linebacker with the Argos, Wynton McManis. What's up, Wynton? How you doing?
Hey, how you guys doing, man?
It's great to see you, man. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks. Happy to be here.
Absolutely.
Are you used to doing a lot of media just before the game, or is it more you want to just relax and get ready for a big one tonight?
I haven't done a lot of media before the game, but, man, this is exciting. This is fun. This is new. Man, I'm just ready to get out there and hit somebody like I was just saying.
When do you start cranking it up on the field, and how much of what goes on in the warm-up is just for show for some of the fans that are here, or how much of it is actually necessary?
Man, honestly, I wake up ready. I wake up ready to go. I don't do a lot of warming up before the game. I get up
I like
early.
it. I like it.
I work out, and then as you saw me probably sitting back there, I sit on the bench until, it's time to go in there and get dressed, man. But other than that, I'm ready to go. You never seen a cheetah or a lion stressed before they hunt.
I love it, man. So it's all about mentality more than anything else.
Yeah, man. You just got to be born ready and warm-blooded. So the sun's out, guns out, let's ride.
I love it. I love it. So
You should be on the radio, man.
Yeah, exactly. We need you to be here with us all night. Forget the football game.
Yeah.
But you mentioned it, like getting up ready to hit somebody. Like that's a mentality. I guess you had to cultivate that when you were younger. When you got into football, did you always see yourself playing the position you're playing, or did you think maybe you'd be on the offensive side of the ball at some point, or did you always want to hit even a 10-year-old, 11-year-old, 12-year-old down in Memphis?
Even when I first started playing, I was a quarterback. I think everybody kind of starts off, especially if you're kind of athletic and I could throw the ball really well.
Why did you leave that position, man?
I played both sides. I think I stopped growing, so but I played both sides growing up, and I think like my time I spent playing quarterback helped me be a better linebacker, and just understand the game and schemes and what offenses are trying to do in the way they attack. So. Man, but I still, if I get the chance to get the ball in my hands, I'm going to try to score like an offensive guy.
Are you a trash talker out there?
Big trash talker.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I talk a lot. That gets me going. I talk in practice. My teammates will tell you, coach will tell you. I talk all day, man. I just think, it's a kid's game. I tell everybody it's the same game you grew up playing. So, never let that fun die. Never let that just fade away.
So in terms of kind of picking your spots, I don't know if you do or not, but I'm guessing the quarterback gets some noise. Maybe the running back gets some noise if he's coming downhill and you're looking to stop him. Do you look at the offensive line, or do you keep quiet with that? Okay.
I talk to everybody.
That's good.
I don't know. I talk to everybody.
Do they talk back? Are they ready for you?
Some of them talk back. You got some guys try to act like they're locked in or try to act like they don't hear me. I'm going to make sure you hear me. I'm going to find your eyes. I'm going to make sure you look at me and all of that, too.
I love it. Wynton McManis with us. And, you mentioned chasing that ball down. And if you get it, you're going to try to score. And the position you play, we always talk about it with quarterbacks and kind of us, more on an amateur level, analyzing how they're playing. But we always hear, different guys in the booth, whether it's CFL, NFL, college, saying you read the eyes. Like, is that what you're talking about? Like when you played quarterback, you understood that's what they were looking for when it came to you, and you translate it on this side. Like if you got McLeod going tonight, how much of your detailing is simply, I got to watch what he's watching for? Like where he's looking, and then I can read on how I'm going to play this.
So like you said about the eyes, and reading that, and I got a lot of that from my film study, and just, you kind of pick up on tendencies that way. But as far as just understanding offenses, it's understanding the defense as well, and understanding the scheme and what we're trying to stop when the coach makes a call. We're trying to stop something specific. So I have that in the back of my mind too as well, and I play into that, into the offense on what they're giving me based on alignment, down and distance. There's a lot of factors that just go into making a play or even just, running a single play on the field. So,
how much do you feed off the coach? Because he's pretty intense out there, and I don't know if you saw the altercation with the Elks the other day. I mean, what did you make of it, and what do you make of his intensity?
Man, I just make it as man. He brings that every day though. Like he's not putting it on. That's just who he is. He's a fiery coach, but he loves his players. He loves his guys. He loves the sport. Man, I wouldn't trade him for anything. Man, it's just. Like you said, his emotions might get the best of him sometimes, but, man, he's able to recognize that and pull back and understand that, and, he can do that, and he knows his team rides behind him. And
you ever give it back to him?
Yeah, when we're in practice, we can talk, we can have some friendly banter back and forth, but, he's still the head coach.
Absolutely. Yeah, he is the head coach in the end.
Yeah.
Well, and you guys have had, you've won 3 games in a row now. And he was pretty outspoken early in the season. My understanding is you were outspoken at times just among your own guys trying to get everything riled up. Like, you guys take it personally earlier in the year when you guys were losing ball games, and there was a lot of chatter throughout the CFL calling out the defense in particular on this team. How personal did you take it, and I guess your whole crew?
Very, very personal. We hold ourselves to a very high standard here, and we built a culture that's built around winning and playing actually good football. And a lot of those games that we lost, they might have been close, but there were times that we weren't playing good football and complementary football to each other as a team. And, that what our standard was. So we had to get back to that. And, a lot of those talks were just making sure that everybody understands that we all have a job and we're just here to do that, man. And the more we can be right, we can never be wrong.
Absolutely. So how do we stop McLeod Bethel Thompson tonight?
Man, be right. Be right. Try to make them uncomfortable. I always got to stop the run first. We start there all the time. And, if we just play together as a defense, complementary football, man, I think we'd be pretty all right.
That's the main staple. Everybody says stop the run first, right?
Always stop the run first. Make teams one-dimensional. A lot of teams like to start, you can do a lot off of the run game with play action and Sally game and things like that. So, if you kind of start there, see a little, see a lot, and, work your way from there.
So we had Ryan Dinwiddie on right before you came on, and we asked him, like, what do we need to know with Wynton coming in? He said, make sure he knows Boise over Memphis. How do you respond to that?
Nowhere in the books has that been written. Nowhere is that seen. He told me he said something about that, though, man. I just kind of take that up on he's riding on a pregame high right now. So
that's right. He's feeling himself at this point.
Yeah, he's feeling himself. But, Memphis Tigers all day.
Okay, I like that. Well, we'll be tracking you tonight, man. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. Great seeing you.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all having me on.
You got it. There he is, Wynton McManis, linebacker for the Toronto Argos. Again, we're live at BMO Field. Argos and Owls tonight. And, he said it, man. It's all about the mentality.
Exactly.
Right? It's all about the mentality. And it's about making sure you get out there and hit guys. And that's what he intends on doing.
What you're saying, be right so much you can't be wrong? Or how does it go?
Be right and you can never be wrong.
That's right.
Beautiful.
Very simple philosophy, Hayes.
All right, man.
Very simple.
Well, we're going to apply it the rest of the show. Great seeing you, man. We'll let you get back out there.
Great business.
Thanks for seeing you. Thanks for coming by. There he is, Wynton McManis. I like it. Got the toothpick going and everything, too.
Exactly.
That's his look. Oh, he's got a few for us? All right.
Oh, look at that.
Send him around.
All right.
I love this. Don't steal them all, Noodles.
No, I'm going to pass
Just make sure you send a couple down.
There's one more.
Oh, beautiful.
Perfect. Thank you.
They got a flavor. They got booze on it.
Don't get crazy now.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Wynton McManis joining us. Pretty good vibes down here.
He scared me with the lots of flavor. I don't know.
I know. I think there's.
What kind of flavor are we talking about?
I think the spear has been dipped a little bit here. I think there's a chance there's a little bit of booze on that.
I don't mind that. I'm trying it out right now.
I don't know if that's true or not, but I will be trying that out myself. But I love those mentalities, like old school guy. He's been around the game for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not out here doing stretch. Like, he'll stretch and he'll
Yeah.
prepare and he's going to hit the gym and mentally he's going to be ready to play.
But you can see there are some guys that are doing so much unnecessary stuff out
Yeah.
there. It's ridiculous.
It's fluff. And to me, he's a gamer.
Yes.
That's the difference. That's
Yeah.
a gamer, goes to play, comes to play every night. Like, that's the difference. And you're right. We've all played with guys who, there's a lot of window dressing to it. Hey, look at me. Camera's over there. I'm going to stretch. I'm
Oh,
going to do all of
man.
that. Like,
I got to admit, I love the warm up. Like, I love the warm up in my day.
no bucket or no?
No, you had to wear a helmet in the OHL. I didn't. Only the NHL you could go no helmet.
But what about it did you love?
I don't know. It's just
Skating around.
yeah,
looking
skating
at
around.
himself in the
Exactly,
glass.
pretending like you were doing something.
Yeah, he's looking
like-
at himself in the glass. That's what
Exactly,
he
because
wants.
people would start pouring in. Like you'd have junior warm ups. You guys all
Yeah.
did it, and like the home team, you got out there first. You'd skate the whole ice, and
Yeah.
completely unnecessary stuff.
Oh, it is. No
Like,
chin,
completely
no chinny,
unnecessary.
no chinny, just wheeling around.
Always no
Did you
chin
guys
strap.
have separate warm-ups in junior?
No, we not
We
when
did
I
in
was
the Western
playing.
League. We did.
Yeah, I know. You've told us that because
Yeah.
everyone's a lunatic.
Yeah,
out
there was
there.
fights, too many fights. So we had to have separate warm-ups. We used to warm
We
up
always
like,
did 5 minutes, 5-minute difference.
Yeah, it was usually like 15 for the home team and 10 for the
Really?
road team or
So the
something.
road team got less
Got
to
less.
warm up?
Well, and that's what I remember. You might remember this too. Is you would because they wouldn't like you skating down in their end, but guys would do it in their home building. And
Yeah.
if they were lining up, waiting to be able to come on, that's when they'd start chirping. Like the
Yeah.
other team would be like, "Get the hell off our side of the ice!"
Oh, yeah.
And then you'd be a hero and a tough guy until they came on, and then all of a sudden, like
Yeah.
Karkner comes out in Peterborough, you're like, "I'll just get right back
Yes.
where I'm supposed to be,
No,
lining up appropriately."
I don't miss those junior warm-ups. They were scary. Like, we had some
Oh, yeah.
mutants.
You guys are legendary.
The Western League. We got to
But there are massive fights. Like the guy, like that would be a good list because we've done the, all-time talent between the
Right.
Q and the OHL and the WHL. And I think though you put all-time fighters like Probert, Domi, Ray, they all played in the OHL.
Yeah, they all had.
Like,
Like,
you're going to go down that road with a Western guy?
I'm just
no,
saying.
but I'm
I-
saying, listen, the O had some tough guys.
the O
big
had
time,
Marty
big time.
McSorley grew up playing in
Big
the
time.
O.
Although I think maybe there was a difference. There might have been more. There may not have been the elite tough guys in the West, but I think, that every
Oh,
team
yeah.
had like five
or six guys who were fighting
in the
that
West.
night.
Yeah. Like I remember my first year pro with the Capital District Islanders. We had like 10 tough guys and 10 skilled guys. Like there was no in
That was the
between.
balance.
That was in the AHL. And it was like, okay, there's a bunch of monsters on that team. We've got a bunch of monsters, and they'd fight, and then our skill guys would like go and score.
Yeah.
It was a weird
Well, it's
mix.
interesting with the Leafs. Like Ryan Reeves not here this year.
Yeah.
And I don't know who I don't know who I would consider to be their toughest player. Like who's if there's going to be
Drive-by?
a little drive-by, which
Drive-by,
we
no
like
problem.
that. Hey, everyone's comfortable. We're not. This isn't our house.
Yeah, we're in her house.
She's probably here every single night.
Probably
It's like-
Dakota Joshua, isn't it? He's a big dude.
Oh, Joshua's big
We're
time.
getting back on the
Yeah,
rails
as
and
far as
talking about the fighting.
yeah.
Yeah, Joshua. Would you consider him a heavyweight though?
I don't know.
No, I think
Like he will fight. He can fight.
I think what he does is he would fight up. What I mean by that, you don't have Ryan Reeves, but he's a guy who can handle tough guys, but he also, he can play. So what you
Let's
need
be
is
real.
team
We're
tough.
talking about one situation. It's in Madison Square Garden. It's when Rempe starts running around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
That's when you're going to be wondering, what are we going to do about that?
That's right. But he's still
Other
there.
than that, maybe there is a couple more guys now
well,
because everyone else in the Metro kind of had to find a guy to deal with him.
yeah.
So
Well,
I think
yeah.
Lucic might be back in St. Louis. He's
St.
trying
Louis.
out there.
Jano, is he in Boston now? I think didn't he?
Tanner Janot, yeah.
Yeah, so Reeves beat him up pretty badly a couple of years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
But he's tough. Again, you're right though. Rempe's a perfect example of it. Rempe, they love him in New York. They sign him
Designated
to an
tough guy, though.
extension.
Designated. tough.
But not only that, he goes out there looking to hit people.
yeah,
Like if he can catch you, he's going to catch you. Now he's not going to be on the ice a lot with Matthews
no.
or Nylander, and I don't think those guys are worried about him necessarily. But I do think if he is out there and he gets a chance to get him, he'll get him.
Yeah.
And that is where you wonder where the modern game mixes with the old school
Yeah,
game,
but
where who takes care of business if need be.
what I would
Because as
say,
of now, I don't see anybody on the Leaf roster that would do that.
no, but what I would say is team toughness. You've got Benoit, you've got McCabe,
I like that
You've got
better
Carlo,
anyway. There's not
you've got-
there's no fighting.
you've
anymore,
got
man.
Waugh, who's a big guy. You've got all these guys who now that have a little bit of bite to them. So that's where, Josh was a guy who's got some bite. Nyes is a big guy. Like,
Yep.
I think it doesn't matter if it's one guy. If you have a team toughness mentality, you're not
I
worried.
think it's way more important.
I agree.
I totally agree
Strength
with that.
in numbers.
Absolutely. And especially come playoff time. That's probably one of those rules Aaron Ekblad was talking about last week.
Yeah.
It's like if anyone's in there, we're all in there.
Yeah, 5-man.
That seems like a pretty good rule to have.
Great rule.
But there may be exclusive scenarios where someone's going to have to go. Just the nature of the sport,
Yeah.
right? You get embarrassed. Someone did something to you. I'm not sure who that will be, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah.
All right, Luke Wilson just pulled his bike up. He's here.
Yeah.
His bike has been chained right on the,
That lady,
30
that lady's
30-yard line?
chaining it. The lady in the
Yeah, the
green.
lady that walked by. That's
There
Luke's.
she is.
There she. She's just cruising around, here to help. Hour 2 coming up live from BMO Field. Argos Alouettes tonight. Luke will join us around the table. We got picks for the NFL. Keith Pelley coming up as well. OverDrive continues. TSN 1050 and on the TSN app.
The unparalleled passion returns to golf as the game's elite stand together for country and for continent.
Well, that's what the Ryder Cup is all about.
Team Europe defends the title against the host Americans.
Oh, my goodness.
The pressure, immense, but the reward, immortal.
This is the greatest match I've ever seen.
2 teams, 1 goal. The Ryder Cup on TSN. Welcome to the show.
Buckle up. It's about to get loud here.
The one with unimaginable power.
Wow.
Amazing stuff.
How good is this guy?
And endless entertainment.
Unbelievable.
Where young trailblazers bring big speed, big swag, and big personalities.
That's what I'm talking about.
Welcome to MLB's best.
You can't help but be awed by it all.
Sunday Night Baseball, all season long on TSN.
Their time has come. It's a moment of World Cup history. For the first time in the history of the World Cup. That's what they came for.
AEW Collision on TSN and USA Network.
It's Mail It In Friday.
The plant called and said if you don't come in tomorrow, don't bother coming in Monday.
Woohoo! 4-day weekend.
This is OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
If you smell what the Wynton Wilson is cooking.
Hour 2 OverDrive continues. Powered by FanDuel, bringing you everything from the opening line to the final score. Look at this.
What is that?
Look at this. Oh, it's the crew tonight.
Oh.
It's the crew. It's Dusty. It's Shanetti. Hayes is a fraud.
Hayes is a fraud.
I love it. I love it.
That is
Out in the
completely
field.
unnecessary.
Speaking of frauds, Partsy, way to bait him yesterday. We came in with a plan, said, hey, we know that there's no way on a Thursday a divisional game is going to go over 11.5 points, but we played the whole role. Okay, we knew Buffalo was going to win, but we knew they wouldn't cover. We baited you guys.
Did you know
We
they weren't going
baited
to
you.
cover?
Were you concerned when I mean, Miami looked pretty good, and
Yeah.
the roughing the kicker,
That
that was
changed
the
everything,
difference
man.
right there.
I'll tell you what drove me nuts even more about that was that when the ball's at midfield, generally called punt safe, so
Yeah.
you don't have your actual punt return on there. It's your defense. That's why all the D linemen are in there. And in the term is the word safe.
Yeah.
It's not rush. You don't go after the punt.
Yeah.
You're worried about a fake. So this guy wants to be a hero, decides to rush. Again, see how it's all D linemen?
Yeah.
And here we go. We're going to now rough the punter. Again, I still think Josh Allen gets it done.
Yeah.
The way he's playing.
There was
but
no way Buffalo was losing.
I
last night.
agree.
Like,
But
it
there's
didn't
no way
matter.
they were covering either, right,
No,
Parksy?
you're right about that. You're right about that. That guy was number 92 as well. It was the O-Dog of kick returners.
Yeah.
And he knew it too because he tried to play it cool, like he was laying down for a while. He's like, please don't have the flag out. You know, his eyes were closed. He was mortified. But that was a scenario last night where, like, putting the spread aside, you just knew Buffalo was winning and Miami was going to lose.
Totally.
Like, it wasn't overly analytical or that deep.
Nope.
There's no way Buffalo's losing last night.
What did you think about Mikey McDee's speech after that one?
You know, I think he understands the situation. And you guys know me, I love to like point the finger at coaches. But when you go into Buffalo on a short week and you play as well as they did, I mean, Buffalo is a legitimate Super Bowl contender. And you're sitting there and you have a play like that, which is an abomination that should never happen. That's not a coaching error. That's a guy being a bozo. And then the pick Tua threw at the end of the game. I mean, this is like a base concept. I helped coach an under-18 team in London, Ontario. We got the same play. Every team at every level, it's like, hey, if you're going to throw that 5-yard sit, there's going to be a buzzed linebacker. I don't know. Like, it's either throw it now or you're on to the flat or kill it. Like, you can't sit there and say, like, hey, Mike McDaniel's fault yesterday when Tua throws a pick like that at the end of the game and you have a D lineman that decides to rough the punter on a punt safe look.
Yeah. That's
now I do think the guy's a bit awkward. Like the quirkiness is really worn
he's
off.
kind of lost the plot a little
think
bit.
so, too.
Like, he's a coordinator. He doesn't have head coach kind of
He has
aura
no
to
presence
him.
for me. No,
Yes.
Quarterback's
You're
coach, man.
You see
Yeah,
all
that's
these
exactly what
linemen,
he
you
is.
see all these like
Totally.
6'5", and then you're looking at this guy, and he's like, "Hey guys, how you doing?"
I know.
Get the hell out of here!
I know.
Sorry,
I can't imagine
I can't do it.
The
Like,
pregame speech cannot be that inspiring
No.
from Mike McDaniel.
Not at all.
But the thing about Tua is his cap hit for this year and I believe the next 3 is higher than
Josh Allen.
Allen's.
Yes.
Like, so you're stuck with Tua. And it's not all Tua, and Tua is capable of making plays. Like, what worked with McDaniel is he came in and it was quick. And Tyreek Hill, who doesn't catch anything anymore, Hill was terrible last night. He had, like, Tua threw a ball up to him. He doesn't want to get hit. You can just tell he's done.
Yeah.
Hill's got to go, in my opinion. Waddle was very good. Like, they have some weapons. We talked about it yesterday. It's just Tua can't throw the ball down the field.
No.
Like,
And
that's
What the hell do
that's
you think
always been the
happened to
case.
him, though? Did his arm just get?
He's
like,
never been capable of doing it, and he's only played in warm
Oh, he's done
weather.
it, Hayes. He had incredible stretches down there.
Yes,
but not,
he did, but it was always like efficient. That's what I'm saying. It's like 75% completion rates and like quick, posts and quick, like in the flat, and it was always a little bit deceptive. Where you're like, man, this guy was 18 for 22. But he threw for 198 yards.
Correct.
And you're like, all right, well, can you ever go over the top? Because if you can't, the defense knows it and they're going to play it.
Especially with a guy like Tyreek. If you have that guy that can really threaten with speed over the top, like they took the one shot that was, like you mentioned, it was severely underthrown.
Yeah.
And when you're throwing jump balls to Tyreek, that's not generally going to be a good thing. It's really hard for me to watch because I was sitting there in the room there getting ready to go on Jay, and I'm like, man, what is the purpose of what's going on? Like when I watch an offense, I usually try and like put my head in the mind of a coach. Like, what are we trying to establish?
Right.
What weapons are we trying to utilize? And it's like one read, swing pass to Achane. One read, swing pass to Achane. And it's just like over and over and over. And again, it was efficient, but in the same breath, if the Bills have Ed Oliver and or Matt
it's
Milano
a completely
playing,
different game.
that game is completely different.
They win by 20 plus.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Buffalo, now through 3 weeks, I don't know who's better than the Bills in your opinion.
I mean, you would say right now, I would say the Ravens and them are 1A, 1B. And then I would say Philly is up there, which is great category to be in. Obviously, they just beat Baltimore, but it's a 41-40 game. That's a one-play difference between those two.
Right.
But this is probably the most I've ever seen them in the last, let's call it 3 years, where I'm like, they're ready to, make that playoff run and go to a Super Bowl. But they're not. This is the drawback when I think about the Bills right now, is they're not that deep, especially on defense. Like, you really felt Ed Oliver out. You really felt Matt Milano out yesterday. So if those two guys are injured against a Ravens squad, it's going to be very, very tough for that defense.
Where's Green Bay in all of this? Because I heard a lineman say that they're not going to lose.
Yeah, 17-0, man.
Yes, if you wanted to, for me, you kind of have, and I know you guys don't agree with this. They're 0-2, but you still have Kansas City in the combo.
Yeah.
And then the next two knocking on the door are got to be the Chargers in the AFC and Green Bay in the NFC. And the NFC is a lot more clear for me. Again, it's way too early here. We're just going the week.
Sure, in the Chargers, man, they always do this.
I love my boy.
I think Harbaugh's got him right.
Yeah, but
trust me, I'm not putting them in that category with the Bills.
I know you of all people have seen disappointment after disappointment, year after year, where they get to a certain level and then all of a sudden it gets to a big game and they're done.
Puke all over themselves. The interesting one will be Kansas City, because they've got to go on a run now, and I think they got the guys to do it. But I wonder, I am watching the Cowboys documentary on Netflix, so that maybe that's in my head. But I do wonder if the locker room is okay, because you start 0-2, you see all the frustration, guys are yelling at each other, and sometimes that can be used as a great thing. Like I've been in locker rooms where there's been legitimate fist fights that worked out very well for everybody.
Yeah.
After the fight. But it'll be interesting to see how Kansas City rebounds.
Well, they got the Giants on Sunday.
I can't believe the spread's only 5.5.
I mean,
Dable.
Yeah, I guess Dable and Russ.
Your boy Russ.
Yeah.
Dable and Russ. I guess it is in New York. I don't know if that's worth anything.
Parts, I think we call that game.
Yeah, that's the layup of the century.
I don't know, man. Like that's
anything Dable's involved with is the layup of the century.
Well,
McDaniel.
And it's
5.5.
Bet against that.
The Chiefs are going to go start 0-3, and I know they could possibly not cover and still win the game with a 5.5 point spread.
Yeah,
but it just doesn't seem possible that they lose to the New York Giants.
No.
Like it's just like what I said about the Dolphins and the Bills. I can't picture a scenario where the Giants beat Kansas City.
Again, and I know they're 0-2, but I like last week they take Philadelphia, who has been on an incredible run, going back, I think 19 games. They're on some wild run. They've lost maybe one of them. Obviously won the Super Bowl. And it's 13-10 with 13 minutes left. And we throw a pick when we're second and goal from the 7 to Travis Kelce. That's a bounce ball, should have been a touchdown. So like Kansas City, albeit 0-2, the sky is not falling yet. Now, if they lose to Brian Dable, the sky is falling.
Definitely.
The sky
That's
is
one,
definitely falling.
Forget Mahomes, forget Travis Kelce, forget anybody else. Andy Reid's not losing to Brian Dable.
No way. No,
Andy Reid
not
under
in
the
desperation
lights.
mode.
Yeah.
Not in desperation
Andy Reid's
mode.
got to bring back the visor from COVID.
Yes. That's inspiration.
It's all fogged up.
That's inspiration.
That's what he needs.
All right, so we have 3 games to pick here because I want to get to the Argos Alouettes game. We're here for that tonight, BMO Field. It's a big one for both teams.
Yeah,
massive. I think it's a must-win for the Argos. I didn't have the stones to say that earlier.
How was my guy?
Dinwiddie was great.
I told you, he's
Ryan
the best.
Dinwiddie was outstanding, and he
awesome.
was talking about how fiery he is, and
He's again. I call him my guy. I've said 6 total words to the guy.
Yeah, no, he's a beauty though. He was a great guy.
Yeah, he
it was
was
great
awesome.
to see him, and he's got the boys fired up tonight. They understand it. They got a tough schedule coming up after this too.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
really, really difficult. But in terms of the picks, before we get to Argos Alouettes, you guys are on the clock. Speak of the devil, Eagles Rams. Now this game is in Philly. Philly laying 3.5. LA's got to go across the country. It's a repeat of, was it the divisional round? I believe the divisional round.
I already know it.
Listen, the dogs are barking. It's going to be a 3-point game. We got 3.5 locked in, correct?
Yes.
We're taking the Rams.
You're going to take
Matthew
the points.
Stafford. Listen, the Rams are
that.
humming.
Every time Stafford's involved, he's going with
No,
them.
I understand that, but do you know who you're playing?
The Rams
You're playing
are
Philadelphia.
And what happened in the Super Bowl or in the playoffs
the divisional
last year?
game? Yeah, Snowy and Saquon ended up breaking loose.
I just got to ask you, are you
Yeah.
sure this time, man?
I'm sure. We're on it.
Oh, it's
Dynasty.
locked in.
Dynasty.
Yeah, Dynasty. You guys are down 1. You guys stink.
Locked in.
Doogie just said Doogie's in the truck, and he said locked in. Doogie's running the whole operation at BMO Field.
Is he really? Good
Yeah.
for Doogie.
Rental suit on today. He's all locked in.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a rental suit on.
Doogie
I
looks
mean, I don't know where the hell he got that suit.
He
but it
looks
good.
phenomenal.
Looks
I love
good.
that. I love
Phenomenal.
that for Doogie.
All right, so you guys are locking in. That's a gamble, man. I got to be honest. Philly at home. I understand you're getting the hook.
That's why we get paid the big bucks. That's why we're successful. That's why year in and year out, we generally win the regular season. We always win the playoffs.
Okay.
Because we do things like this.
All right, that's fine.
We got the stones to do it.
The 4 p.m. window, we got Chargers-Broncos. This is a great game. The Broncos got talk about kickers and stupidity and things that you need to know that you can't do.
Yes.
Like leverage on the line on a 60-yard field goal, whatever it was. Chargers at home laying 3. It's up to 3. It was 2.5 5 minutes ago. Then Doogie in his suit just got in my ear and said it's up to 3.
Love that.
We're going to lay the points, though. We're on the Chargers here.
Oh, my. Partsy.
We're on the Chargers here. We're not learning from our own. You talked about the theory in division. Broncos are desperate. I think the Broncos are a good team. I think they've looked pretty good through 2 weeks.
Not a lot of chatter about the Broncos this year.
They were supposed to be coming in, and then, they had a layup week 1 that they didn't look great in, and then they lost to Danny Dimes in week 2. You lose to Danny Dimes.
Danny Dimes is gone. It's Indiana Jones now. This is a completely different man. Don't call him it's Indiana Jones. He's not Danny Dimes.
I'm not willing to accept that.
No.
I can't accept that.
I love Indiana Jones.
Danny Dimes.
Well, I love Harbaugh, and I love Herbert, and I love everything about the way the Chargers are playing, man. They're playing mean football. Like, Khalil Mack out is big. It's a significant injury for them. But Harbaugh, like, when he got there, the first thing, they just loaded up on the offensive line, defensive line. They started hiring, like, fullbacks and stuff.
Yeah.
He's going to have this team fired up. Now, Peyton will, too. This will be a great coaching duel.
Yeah.
Great coaches in the AFC West, man. Unbelievable coaches.
I would like the pick, and I'm being honest now, I would like the pick if what happened to Denver last week didn't happen.
I know. I worry about that at the end of the game and them feeling like they got jobbed.
They got jobbed. Sean Payton is going to be on an absolute war path this week.
Yes.
He's not. He's kind of an old school coach.
Yeah.
You know, they're supposed to be a team that's, you know.
Don't you think Bo Nix still has to prove a little bit more?
Of course.
Like, he was good last year.
Now he's going to opt to do it.
Yeah.
And all he's got to do is cover 3 points.
All right. I hate that I'm actually on the Chargers. Al's brother and I.
If you guys,
Al's brother is AWOL. The guy's
who knows
somewhere in Vancouver at a car
How much
show.
influence does he have on those picks for you? Anyway?
I never heard from him
he
today.
doesn't. Honestly,
wow.
Feathers.
He takes it like he lets Al's brother know what they're picking. That's
Wow.
a lot of times.
President of football operations, but
Yes,
his
you
voice
are.
is very loud in the room. It's important.
I got something for you. Like, if your team just craps one off on a Sunday, is the coach owly the whole week heading up to, like, the next game?
So for me, it was very situational.
Right.
Patricia was.
Right.
Patricia was very, very grouchy, you know, and he would say, let's get over it. And then, like, he wouldn't get over it.
Right.
One of those things.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, we're not going to talk about this again. And, like, 3 hours later, we're talking about it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Pete, and it was, like, fascinating because when I got out of college, it was very dictatorship, like, yell at the kids vibe. Pete was the one guy where it was like, we would lose a game, and I'd be like, man, we're going to get, you know, chewed out here.
Yeah.
He'd come in and be like, total fluke. Can't believe that happened. And we'd be like, okay, like, he's not going to bring it up again. And he wouldn't bring it up again. He'd be like, oh, that was a fluke. And it was, like, consistently. I even remember the year we won it, I think we were, like, 8-1. Don't quote me. It might have been 7-1 at the time.
Right.
And we were playing Mike Glennon in the Bucks, who were 0-8 or 0-9 at home. We were down 21-3 at half, and I'm like, Pete is going to kill us in here. Like, we're supposed to win a Super Bowl, and we're down 21-3. He walked in and was like, okay, everyone, pause. I don't even know how that happened. That's ridiculous. It seems nowhere near our. Here's my advice for the second half. We can't get all 18 points in one play. We're going to win. We all know we're going to win, but we just got to lock in one play at a time. So Pete was the one guy where it was like, we could lose a game, and the next week it was like, it was always a fluke. If we lost, like, he'd clean it up.
Yeah.
Fluke. We're
awesome.
better than them.
Did you guys end up winning that game?
Yeah, we did in overtime.
Nice.
Wow.
Yes.
Mike Glennon.
Yeah, Mike Glennon.
I wish I could bet against Mike Glennon.
There was a little
Losing,
bit of
it's not the answer all the time.
Yeah.
Yes, totally.
But you got to have the card every once in a while, wouldn't you think? Like, Pete Carroll can't be,
So,
you know.
this is what got
Yeah, what does
strange.
Pete's mean?
Pete doesn't have a mean. He's not mean.
So he's Wally Cleaver all the time.
All the time. Now, this is what gets
That's
a little
Ned
strange.
Flanders. That's what he is.
So,
He's
Ned Flanders.
There's two things. I would say that, like, and I love Pete. You guys know I love Pete. But as I got older in the Pete regime, I always knew, like, when the cut guy comes around, we call him the Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
So I always knew the Grim Reaper was lurking when he overly praised someone. Like, he'd come in and be like a guy on the cusp, and he'd be like, hey, like, you know, let's say the guy's name's Bob. Bob, look at Bob in practice. And Bob hasn't been playing at all. This guy, Bob's really working hard. I learned, I'm like, whenever Pete goes over the top, complimentary,
Bob's in trouble.
Bob's gone.
the Grim Reaper's coming to get Bob.
Bob's in big trouble.
Bob was there Wednesday. He ain't going to be there Thursday. So that was Pete's kind of farewell kiss. But what was fun about those days was we had a locker room full of guys that were mean. So it was like Pete could kind of play good cop, and we self-policed with, like, we had some veteran guys that were really mean. And in a great way.
Like a competitive way.
Every coach
competitive
wants
way.
to do that. The leaders and the older guys, he wants the message to run through them instead of him all the time.
Totally.
Yeah.
Again, the story, it's like ingrained in my head, but we went to the Super Bowl, the one we won. We were in New York. We landed on Monday, and a veteran guy on offense who was kind of a third stringer was joking around. He was joking around the sideline. You know, we just landed in New York Sunday night. It's a Monday practice. We're still 6 days away. I'm a rookie, so, like, I'm just, you know, paying attention. And this veteran from defense comes over and says to this guy, if I catch you fooling around, I'm going to knock you out in front of all the media, all the fans. I'm going to knock you out, buddy. He's like, I've got one shot here.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't a perennial guy. Like, I don't know if I'm going to be on this team next year. I don't know if I'm going to be ever in a Super Bowl again. And if you are messing around and you happen to miss that play, if you happen to be the guy that falls into the punter when we stop Josh Allen.
Right. I'm coming for you, man.
And he's serious.
Yeah,
and I remember being 23 like, oh, my, I better lock it. That's what happens. You
Lock
as a rookie,
it down.
You're like, I'm not even going to smile this entire practice.
Yeah.
You won't find a more focused guy.
All right, well, speaking of New York, Sunday nighter, Chiefs laying 5.5 at the Giants.
There's nothing to say. There's no way. There's no way.
Stop wasting people's time.
Yeah.
You're taking the Chiefs. You're laying the points.
Chiefs?
No way.
All right.
Fun.
Okay, so the dogs are barking on the Rams pick, but beyond that, I'm Hazenbrough on the Chargers -3 against the Broncos, and you guys are laying the points 5.5. Chiefs at Giants.
Yes.
The Argos are a pretty big dog tonight.
Yeah.
And well, I mean they've got a third-string quarterback going tonight. They've won 3 games in a row. They've given up 30+ 3 straight games, and they've won all 3 of them.
Handicap their chances, Partsy.
Yeah. How did the Argos find a way to get a win tonight?
Coach even said they need to win 3 of the next 4.
Well, like after this, they're at BC next week, then at home against the Tabbies, and then they're at Saskatchewan, at Calgary to end the season. I mean, you got to get this one tonight.
They're gonna.
You're calling the Argos winner
They're gonna
right
get
tonight.
it.
You're calling it, eh?
Listen,
I love it.
You guys are here. You're sitting at BMO Field. This is a big ordeal for the CFL. You don't think that Toronto, you don't think Coach Dinwiddie is going to come out here and pull a few tricks out of his sleeve? They're going to get it done.
You think they're personally inspired by the 3 of us
100%
being here?
We're going to be between the benches, I think, you and I or something.
Yeah.
Aren't you in the first and I'm in the third?
I'm going up into
He's
the
in the booth.
I'm going to be doing play-by-play.
I like that. Listen, I'm telling you
Imagine
guys.
I started doing play-by-play. Dustin Nielsen would scissor kick me
He'd kick you out of that booth. Like you go flying out the window.
He's not a small dude.
No.
Dusty could throw down
Listen,
if
man,
he wants to.
Everybody on the CFL at TSN wants a scissor kick meme. Just join the club.
That's true. Whose side are we on? Are we
Who hates you the most? Who hates you the most?
I can't say that, but he might be here.
I'll sniff it out. We'll find a way to figure this out. But yeah,
listen, Coach Dinwiddie's going to get the boys right.
Yeah,
he's the best coach in the league. He is.
Well, he's won 2 Grey Cups, and again,
it should have been 3.
It should have been, and this has been the biggest challenge because of the injuries and the defense has struggled at times. I mean, again, they got Jared Daggy playing quarterback tonight.
I understand
it's tough.
It is tough, but everybody said that about Arbuckle, and under Dinwiddie, he's an MOP candidate.
Yeah.
Now, the injury is obviously going to jam him. So I really believe that there's a guy who understands offensive football in this league. Because I know you guys don't, you'll see it firsthand tonight. It's a different style of offense.
Sure.
There are a lot of small details that need to be kind of ironed out in comparison to, the NFL versus CFL, and Dinwiddie understands it all.
But if you have a quarterback that's not, a huge veteran or whatever, like do you run the ball a lot? Do you keep it to the ground type
They'll
of thing?
try, but I don't think that's going to be successful for them.
So
They're going to try.
You got to air it out
early. Oh, yeah. Like, this is the 3-down game, though. If you can't average 5+, it's not really an elite run game situation.
Right.
You look at Daggy, I mean, he came in at the end of last game and led a 2-minute drive.
Slinging it, man.
And do a field goal.
Slinging it.
Said he's going to run, 40?
Well, I don't know if he can now. You missed that opportunity.
There was an opportunity.
I'm not going out there when they're out there.
I know.
I think you can run along the sidelines
Somebody will
here.
slap me.
Yeah.
Oh, no. It's lawless out here, man. That's the one thing about the CFL. It's wild.
Yeah? It's Wild West out here?
It's the Wild West.
Okay.
I'm kind of used to, like, extreme security at this point.
Yeah.
You'll see. You could go run a 40. You could probably go out and catch some balls if you want to do.
We should find a way. Let's get Daggy out here, and you can just throw like a deep post or something, and he'll just.
Dude, I can't sprint though. My shoulders still
throw one right
jammed
into
up,
your
and I
bread
can't.
basket. What does your shoulder have to do with your sprinting?
Well, the arms, yeah.
Like you don't
Get him right, man.
All right. Professional athletes.
Do you think? No, I will say, McLeod Bethel Thompson. I feel like, he caught a lot of heat beginning of this year.
Yep.
Wasn't playing super well, even to his standards when he came in. Now that he came back last week, upset the Saskatchewan Roughriders. It'll be interesting to see if this time off has kind of got his mind right. See, he's been around this league for a long time.
I worry about him possibly coming out here and slinging one off of our heads because we would chirp him. And I wouldn't say we chirped him, but we would be critical when he was the Argos quarterback at times.
So he's talking about you guys then. He had
might
an
be
interview this year.
thinking
He was
Yeah,
So
he might be
TSN
thinking,
gives him no love.
We might take some heat when
I worry about
he
that
comes
guy.
out.
You see that guy? He is just. I've watched him. He's walked the field like 5 times.
Okay.
And it's in a square.
In a square.
I'll be honest. That's
and
a football
he is
thing.
a monster.
That's a football thing. So generally, what happens before these games is you'll have the field walk guys, which is very, very common, or you'll have the stadium runners.
Okay.
So, now, I
So
haven't
that
seen
guy's
the
a
stadium.
player that's just wheeling
Player
around.
or coach.
He's walked on the white line right around about 5 times.
I know.
And every time he comes by, it's the horse eye over like, you guys are in my spot. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, he's not happy.
No,
I'm
he's
worried
kind of
about
like
that.
all business.
You
Like that-
get
that guy is going to
You get wound
injure
up
somebody
right now.
tonight.
Yeah,
Like, he
that's-
is wound up.
Listen, boys, you said it. This is a big night.
Yeah.
Playoff implication on the line.
Mm-hmm.
It's kill or be killed in pro football.
It's a huge one
You
tonight.
got to get your mind right. If it takes 15 laps to get them right,
That's right.
He
you
is-
get them right.
He is dialed in.
The nightcap is a big one with Vernon Adams Jr. taking on your boy Nathan Rourke.
Yeah.
It's a big game. The
Farhan
Stamps and the-
Lalji's boy.
Well, I believe
That's-
you were tweeting recently saying
Yeah.
that Nathan Rourke is a quarterback that should possibly be playing in the NFL.
I think he has the ability.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
That's correct. I when I watch, because
You think Cody Fajardo is better than Nathan Rourke?
That's
No,
because Rourke's Canadian.
no, I don't. But I, do
think you said something like that.
I think Cody
we'll hold him to
Fajardo.
that.
I think Cody Fajardo is really good for this league. Like he's an incredible quarterback for the CFL, and I think he catches way too much heat.
So you stood up
Okay.
for him. That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
it
Oh
is.
yeah,
Nothing
Cody,
wrong with that.
Cody Fajardo. If I had to say my favorite player, it's definitely Cody. My favorite coach is Dinwiddie.
Okay.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right, beauty. All right, so you're on the Argos tonight.
I'm on the Argos tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm taking the points. I like the Argos plus the points tonight.
I'm telling
6.5. I'm happy to do that.
you, don't go against Dinwiddie, man. He was on the desk.
Yeah, he was.
He's-
All right.
He's
Maybe
a
I'll
fan.
spin that around.
He's a fan of the OverDrive.
He's
man.
a fan of the
He
show.
is.
He did say
Loves the
that.
show.
He
Yeah.
loves watching the show. He said during the off season.
In the off
He
season.
made a point of that, which
Yeah,
I think is important. He's dialed in, man. He's a busy guy.
Have
As
you
he should
seen
be.
some of his interviews, man? He had one the other day. I got like chills. He was mad after a loss. It might have been a couple weeks ago. And he was like, there are a lot of people that come up here from all parts of America, all 11 provinces. And if you're not here to work hard and grind, like, what are you doing? What are we doing?
Yeah.
And this is one thing I think the purity of the CFL does shine through a lot more than the NFL, where it's like these guys aren't making gajillions of dollars.
They
There's-
love playing football.
Correct.
man.
They're especially in, I'm a very pro-Canada guy, pro-Canada football players.
Yeah.
But some of these American guys, I got to tip my cap to, that are coming up here from wherever in the States, somewhere down south, and being like, yo, I'm moving to Toronto or Saskatchewan to
going
make
to Regina.
Canadian dollars that, as we all know, is not even par, okay, so
Yeah.
that they can play ball.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of guys you got to put respect to. So I get why Dinwiddie is a little annoyed early in the year when his words, not mine, said they had a lot of pretenders.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. If I ever get called a pretender, that would really hurt.
That was a tough comment from him. And listen, he said it to us. Like, we had to talk to the guys after, which
Yeah.
is what you respect, right? That's what you want out of a coach. If he's going to say something, then come and address it the next day.
Totally.
You referenced it. You don't apologize. He's not going to come back and say sorry.
No.
But you address what you're talking about. And it's all about inspiring these guys to win ball games. I mean, that's all it is. And if you play for a guy like Ryan Dinwiddie, how can you not have faith in his plan? He wins all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, he always wins.
I mean, 4 years, 2 Grey Cups, and one of the years he was 16-2. My favorite line, and I don't know why this is, but whenever a coach says in football, somebody tomorrow is not going to be here, I think it's the greatest thing on planet Earth.
Yes.
Because he's not lying.
No.
He's like, okay, y'all boys want to do that? Don't worry, I'll send a message loud and clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think of Jimmy Johnson right now because I'm watching this documentary. It's blowing my
Apparently
mind.
apparently like he is on another planet, Jimmy Johnson, like that guy out of here, like type
He
of
had
thing.
a line in this doc.
I
and
can't watch it. I can't wait to watch
It's
this.
unbelievable. He said a guy, they were doing conditioning. Now, this is back in the day.
Yeah.
And a guy's lying on the ground saying he has asthma. And he looked at him and said, go have asthma on the other field. This field isn't for asthma.
How do you react to that if you have asthma? Like, what do you possibly say in response?
Yeah,
Other
I
than,
don't know.
I guess I'm leaving.
At one point, they lost the game early. And he didn't let the guys eat on the way home. Said he pulled the stewardess and was like, "Don't you dare serve these guys dinner."
That's an old hockey play. That's a junior play, man.
That's junior hockey.
Turn the movies off on the bus.
Exactly.
It's electric.
Best Bets powered by FanDuel. I'm going to run this parlay past you. You tell me what you think.
Yeah.
Okay. Argos plus 6.5.
Love that.
Jared Dagey over 1.5 touchdown passes
Love
tonight.
that.
I think he can sling it. I think he will sling tonight. All right. Philpott over 68.5 receiving yards and Polk over 57.5 receiving yards. I think there's going to be points scored tonight.
Yeah.
That's what I'm calling for. That's a big parlay, big plus money.
Are you a juice guy? Do you want to juice it up? Get one of these backup QBs because they do the quarterback sneaks at the goal line all the time.
Right. Okay. We could probably get this up over
Add it
1,000.
in there, man.
Up over
Listen,
10-1, 11-1.
It's like the Mighty Ducks line. It's not worth winning if you can't win big.
I love it.
There you go.
Okay, just keep adding to it and adding to it and adding to it.
And then you get to tell someone you almost won big after you don't win.
That's all you need. Best Bets powered by FanDuel. The FanDuel Sportsbook app is the exclusive home of the OverDrive same-game parlay for the CFL. Please play responsibly. 18+, physically located in Ontario. All right, buddy. We'll see you at, I guess, in like half an hour at
we're
SportsCenter.
We're on the sidelines.
Sidelines right
We're
away.
doing SportsCenter hits, the four of us.
Oh, we are?
Running the whole operation.
Oh, Doogie Jammy didn't.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're included in that.
Yeah,
and then
you're
during the game, these guys are on the sideline with you, and I'm going to be up in the booth.
We're gonna be crunching film.
Crunching film. All right. I'll do my best with it.
This would be great. Using hockey analogies.
Yeah.
All right, Luke. Good seeing you, buddy.
Cheers.
Here's Luke Wilson. All right, we're live at BMO Field. Keith Pelley, the president and CEO of MLSC, will join us next.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
Powered by FanDuel, bringing you everything from the opening line to the final score. We're live at BMO Field. Big game tonight. Alouettes, Argos. It's a Friday night. Weather's beautiful. The Leafs are in camp, right?
Yeah.
We get the Argos playing. We get the Ryder Cup next week, which I know is going to be big for our next guest. We get the World Cup coming here.
You're going to be there
9
at
months
the Ryder
here?
Cup?
Keith Pelley joining us.
Yeah, no, you know what? My boy, who's 22 years old, has just finished school, and he's working for the Nashville Predators. And the only opportunity I have to go with my wife down to Nashville is next week. So last week I went and saw Rory, and I went and saw Tommy Fleetwood.
Yeah.
And talked to Tommy about the incredible resilience he's shown this year, and how he's just come back after defeat after defeat. Rory is very special. The team is ready. I had dinner last night with a group of individuals, including Paul McGinley.
Yeah.
And Paul not only sank the winning putt in 2002 and was the captain in 2014. We created, when I was over there after our, let's say our shellacking in 2020 in Whistling Straits, we created a Ryder Cup advisory committee. And Paul came on that advisory committee, and he has been monumental in terms of the success in creating the chemistry and culture. And the team is already over there in
Bethpage.
In Bethpage. They played 18 holes this week. Then they played 9 holes. Now they have 5 days off, but they can't leave
New York,
the eastern seaboard. So they're going to be on the time zone. They're going to be ready. You know, the fundamental difference, as I've always said, with the American team and the Canadian teams is culture.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys love each other. And it's going to be fun to watch. But it'll be the first one I've missed since 2016, which was also a shellacking in Hazeltine, by the way.
That's right.
But we did win in 2018, and we won in Rome.
There you go. That's what matters.
Yeah.
That's what matters.
We won the last one.
And you're busy next week for obvious reasons. So happy birthday.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. But we're here at BMO Field, and in 9 months, the whole world's going to be here, right? More or less, right, with the World Cup. And I'm curious, you got a lot on your plate, clearly.
Yeah.
But does the World Cup kind of loom in the background? You can feel it in the city that it's going to be here before you know it. And
I think
this place has got to pop, right?
Yeah, I think you're really going to feel it, after the draw on December 5th. And who's in the first game with Canada. We obviously have 6 games here, and the way that I would describe it, it's like having 6 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
I don't even know at this particular time, Brian, if the city really understands what they're getting into and how gargantuan this is going to be.
You mean traffic-wise, or
I just overall, right?
I
think
massive.
overall, I think congestion's going to be a challenge. There's no doubt. But here at BMO, as you can see now, and it's great for you guys to be here live. But you've got the 4 new
scoreboards
screens
here.
are going, yep.
You know, you're going to have 10,000 seats here just in the north end zone. There's going to be another 7,000 temporary seats. So this will be 45,000 seats, which is spectacular. There's going to be some permanent seating and a terrace that'll be there. And there will be 31 new corporate suites. But overall, I think the city will be buzzing with anticipation as we get closer.
Right.
I don't think you have seen the euphoria that you're going to see in 9 months.
How are you going to manage your workload? You've got so much in front of you, so much on your plate. You just mentioned with that, you've got the Leafs, you've got everybody involved. Like, is it just 24 hours a day for you, or you're going to have to, delegate some work to other people?
Well, I think the key when you have such a diverse and such a complex portfolio with so many teams and a robust music business and restaurants and such, and now you throw World Cup in there and managing the World Cup and running the World Cup for the city is a great honor and a great privilege. But it really comes down to the people you've got, and we have some real terrific people working on the World Cup that have done previous World Cups, and that's the key, the experience. And we're all going to be taxed a little bit, but it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it if Canada can win that very first game.
Absolutely.
And go deep. And it's incredible. We have a game coming up with Canada versus Ecuador here at BMO, and tickets just went on sale last week. And in the first 48 hours, we had 17,000 sold.
Wow.
So the two wins that Canada had against Romania and against Wales in the last couple of weeks has I think really given a real jolt to the World Cup. And I think when people really they're starting to realize it. You know how I know they're starting to realize it? Because I'm getting way more requests for tickets.
Absolutely.
That's
we'll talk to you off the air. Exactly.
How do you manage all the teams when everything's cooking? Is it just like daily check-ins, or when things are going good, or you want to check? How does it work for you, just dealing with everything?
Well, I think it's a real balance, and again, we've got some terrific people, So, let's say, for example, tomorrow, I'll go to Leaf practice tomorrow. Yeah. That'll be an opportunity for me to go to Leaf practice. I check in with the guys as much as I possibly can. I probably chat to Brad almost every day, and Bobby and Jason in the middle of the season. So Jeff, it's a balance. You've got you have to know when to delegate, and at the end of the day, and when you're talking to the Leafs and you're talking about Brad, you're talking about Bobby with the Raptors, they know what their definition of success is, right? That's wins and losses, and they know, but our relationship is terrific, and it's a great. As I say all the time, it's a responsibility, and that responsibility is really about winning and contending on an annual basis. And if we're not doing that, and then I don't expect to be here.
With Keith Pelley, things have changed in terms of your working relationship with two teams in particular, the Raptors and the Leafs, since you arrived. Brendan Shanahan's not here anymore. Masai Ujiri's not here anymore. So with those chats that you just spoke of, was that directed to them in previous years, and now they're no longer here? And how does your role change, in terms of those two teams in particular, without, the mainstays in Shanahan and Masai?
Well, I was really involved with Shanahan and very involved with Masai. I just think it's gone to a little bit of a different level now.
How so? In terms of the GMs, in terms of
just in terms of day-to-day dealings, and maybe a little bit more granular. But at the end of the day, the general manager is the general manager, and Brad's running the on-ice product, and Bobby's running the on-court product, and I'm there as a great sounding board and someone that can discuss with them on a number of topics. But what it's really done is it is certainly created a one MLSE culture inside all the teams. So, for example, the Raptors will go to Leaf games now.
Is that something you were encouraging when you got here?
I think at the end of the day, you have such strong brands. You've got the strongest hockey brand in the world. You got the only NBA brand in Canada. You got TFC and the 152 years old Argos. And what you want to do is you want to horizontally integrate those brands and cross promote them. And so we're launching a number of different programs, but and focusing on content, but the integration of the content and the integration of the teams is going to be significantly over the next couple of years.
With Keith Pelley. So you mean like MLSE plans on producing their own stuff to get out to the fans? Is that where you're like? Flush that out for us. What do you mean by that?
I think overall, I think with the brands that we have, and you'll see that we just brought in a gentleman by the name of Ryan Leslie.
Yeah, we know him well. Yeah,
and you know Ryan because he was at one of your competitors, I believe.
Yep.
Hosting the Calgary Flames telecast. I'm not sure if those were
Flames TV. I know Ryan very well.
Yeah,
from Calgary. Yeah.
So we brought Ryan in, and it was really taking a page out of the Ryder Cup and the tour in terms of the way that we produce social content at the tour over the number of years, and that is having somebody that really can understand the players, relate to the players, traveling with the players, that then has the trust to produce compelling and interesting content and to show the players in completely different light and to show their character. So I would say that the distribution of content for us will scale 25 times of what we produce and what we have now over the next 4 years. And we won't just produce content for our own platforms or from for our own broadcasters, but we'll produce content for non-gated companies. And so we've recently created a deal with TikTok, with YouTube, with Meta, all about getting as much scale as we possibly can for these two incredible brands and for TFC and the Argos to elevate them to a much different level.
With Keith Pelley joining us here at BMO Field, and I believe it was a week or 2 weeks ago, you obviously had the connection with the Buffalo Bills. You mentioned integration, and now the Bills and MLSE are in a partnership. And, we talked about it that day, and I can understand it from a Bills perspective why they want this market. Curious, how you explain this deal to an Argo fan who is nervous about the NFL, is nervous about the Bills and the Bills coming in here and trying to take over this market to an extent. What kind of messaging do you have for old school, hardcore Argo fans who are looking at this saying, why are we bringing the Bills into our market?
Well, I would say you need to develop more hardcore Argo fans. We're going to have under 15,000 here tonight, right? That's not good enough, right? That is not a franchise that is growing to where we want it to be. So we have to look at doing things differently. And if you're not prepared to modify and you're not prepared to change, you're going to fall behind.
Do what differently, though?
How do the Bills do? And how do the Bills help
I think
you
the
with
association. I think association with the National Football League and the Buffalo Bills gives credence to the Toronto Argonauts. I think if you look at that press conference alone, and the fact that we're even talking about it is significant. So when that press conference outside of the NHL All-Star Game, which had international coverage, was the largest press conference that MLSE has ever had. And then I would ask you, and I would put it back on you, Brian. I would say, what harm can it do? It can only grow it. You've got yesterday the Bills and going 3-0 in Buffalo, them promoting the Argos, them bringing up Jim Kelly with Chad Kelly, Doug Flutie coming back on October 4th. We've already sold more tickets on October 4th for the Bills Argo game than any other game this year. So I'd put it back on you and say, if you love football, and this is also about producing and grassroots football and building clinics, but if you really love football, why wouldn't you want to be associated with the NFL and the Buffalo Bills?
Well, yeah, and I guess
but what my question would be, what are you going to do now? I'm just asking you.
Yeah, no,
I'm just asking you the question.
Let me flip it back. I'll give you my answer on that. But how are the Bills going to be committed to growing the Argos? I just don't see why the Bills why do the Bills care about the Argos? I understand why MLSE cares about the Bills.
Yeah.
And you're going to sell shirts and jerseys and you're going to host a party down at Real Sports. I don't, if I'm an Argo fan or if I love football here, and the NFL's massive here and the Bills are massive here for sure, but I can go across the border and go watch the Bills. I can see every single game already. So I'm just curious, again, if from an Argos perspective, because they've been beaten down for a long time, it's not the Bills' fault. It's not only the Bills' fault. The Jays showed up in '77. That's when it started. The Raptors got here in '95.
Right.
It's a lot of competition in this market, but it just, I get the impression that Argo fans always feel like, okay, where do we stand on the pecking order? And now are the Bills, how do the Bills amplify them in terms of that pecking order?
I just think, honestly, that's the wrong way to look at it.
Okay.
Like I think you have to look at it saying if you love football, and you can associate yourself, and the Toronto Argonauts can be on a jersey with the Buffalo Bills, that can only enhance the Argonauts brand, and it can only help the younger generation get familiar more with football, more with the Argos through the Buffalo Bills. And the Buffalo Bills want to promote the Argos because they want to promote football here. And I see absolutely no downside whatsoever if you're an Argo fan. I only see upside.
Okay.
And anybody that doesn't, I'm perplexed by it.
I think it's more of a mentality. Like it's, there's.
But what are they afraid of? Are they afraid that there's going to be more seats?
I guess. Yeah.
Well, you want more people in.
It's about coverage. It's about, and where the priorities lie, I guess. That's what I always hear from Argo fans.
The Buffalo, well, I think.
And I'm sure you do too. I mean, I'm sure you're from here. You know the Argos history.
Yeah, of course. And listen, I used to produce the CFL back in the early 90s. Then I went and produced NFL football for Fox, so I understand it very much. I came back. And we created Friday Night Football when I was at TSN. And then I ran the Argos as the CEO in 2004.
Right.
And I've come back 20 years later, and I go, nothing's changed. So we need to make changes. Yeah. We need to grow that. TSN does a phenomenal job of promoting the CFL. And the fact that you guys are here is greatly appreciated. But we need to do more. Right? And you need to take chances. You need to make changes. And you need to take bets. And I'm sitting there saying the National Football League is the biggest football league in the world.
Yeah.
Right? And how many Gen Z NFL fans are there compared to how many Argo Gen Z fans are? And if we can associate the Buffalo Bills and their owner comes to the press conference wearing an Argo hat. Right? We had more coverage for the Toronto Argonauts in that press conference than we've had in any other press conference.
But wouldn't the CFL fans say, well, they're not going to be Buffalo Bills out there on the field? You know what I mean?
No.
What's the connection where it's going to amplify everything?
Well, I think you have to look. I think you guys have to really think about the imagination on what this could actually do. In
terms of marketing.
So for example, marketing, ticketing, could you have an Argo section at a Buffalo Bills game where there's X amount of Argo season ticket holders that have premium access to the Buffalo Bills games? Does that help sell you season tickets? Does it bring more awareness to the Argos, to the Buffalo Bills coming here?
Is that possible in the future, them playing here ever again?
I think anything's possible, but it's certainly not something we've had a discussion about at this point.
No.
Yeah.
Right? They're just about to build a new, state-of-the-art facility with 65,000 fans. They don't need our help selling tickets.
No roof,
right?
though. No roof.
Right?
no roof. No.
They don't need, Jamie. They don't need our help selling tickets.
Yeah, right.
Right. We need everybody's help selling tickets, including the diehards, right? And there are only three types of fans, right? There are the diehards, and there's less and less diehards Argo fans right now. Then there are the bandwagon jumpers when you're winning, that they get involved. And then there's the second bucket, which is the biggest bucket. And those are fans that come because it's fashionable. It's cool to be at, right? And that involves corporate and consumers. And that's the bucket that we need to grow. And if that can be enhanced by an association with the Buffalo Bills, and if we can create clinics with the Buffalo Bills that promotes and builds the game of football, that I believe will help us sell more Argo tickets.
Yep. Well, listen, I think everyone will support that once we get there, right? If the Argos keep going and the Bills keep going, and the Bills are hugely popular up here. They're hugely popular. The NFL hugely popular. Well, Keith, what's next? You sticking around for the game? You got obviously a big one tonight. Argos, Alouettes, and
Yeah, of course I'm sticking around for the game.
You just said.
got to have a win tonight.
Seriously?
Helicopter. Right
You never know. I mean, President CEO of MLS.
Tell me, are you sticking? You're sticking around.
I'm sticking around. Absolutely. We're going in the booth. I'm going to be in the booth later tonight.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, we're going to have a blast. It's going to be great. Thanks for doing this. We appreciate it greatly.
No worries.
Great seeing you. There's Keith Pelley, President and CEO of Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment. We're live at BMO again. We'll tee up the game one more time. OverDrive continues, TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
Now, back to OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
Mail It In Friday brought to you by Boston Pizza, Canada's favorite sports bar. Enjoy $15 lunch at BP where you get an entree, a side, and a drink, and you get it all in 20 minutes or less. A fast lunch doesn't have to be fast food. See you for a $15 fast lunch at your local Boston Pizza.
I got my jersey.
You got your jersey. I got my jersey. I love how O's just decided this. You think we're done at 5:45?
I think you know what he did. I swear he's after the coach for one of those hoodies.
That's what I think is happening. Shout out to the Argos for sending this in.
Look at this.
Noodles, Hazy B, 29.
Love it.
Hazy B, number 4. That's my old junior number. Bobby Orr and Brian Hayes. Yeah, the O-Dog, I think you're right.
I swear to God.
I think he's bothering people.
He's talking to Ryan Dinwiddie about the hoodie that he was wearing earlier and saying, hey, can you get me a couple of those hats too?
I think
he might be asking somebody for a helmet too.
You know, he's probably doing is chasing Keith Pelley down asking for World Cup tickets.
Did you see
probably
his
what
face?
he's doing.
Did you see O's face when he's going, yeah, we're getting, you know, when things heat up, there's a lot of tickets being asked. Did you see his face? He was like, yeah, there he is.
Absolutely.
Like,
he could not wait. There he is. Look at him coming out of the tunnel. That's such a dangerous shot because he doesn't know he's on camera. And there's a very good chance he's about to do something that he should not be doing live on TV.
Yes.
Like
if he goes for a pick or something, that's not good.
Oh, he's already. Yeah, there it is.
Just be
okay,
careful
so
there.
This is why you need to PVR the show. There's a grab that probably should. There he's running.
Yeah, now he realized.
Let's go. We got one segment
There's
left.
the 40. We just got the 40 out of him. He was running the 40. That's what it was.
Like, are you new around here? Every break you leave. Where are you going? Did you just chase down Keith Pelley asking for tickets?
I thought that was the break for the.
No.
Yeah.
Well, it basically is now. They just had a camera on you walking, and you were doing some picks and some grabs.
Yeah, there was like a full strut
you look
in there.
good, though.
Like
you
did
look
look
good. You got the ace suit on. You look great. The shoes are phenomenal.
We thought you were going to talk to Ryan Dinwiddie about getting a hoodie and a hat.
That's not a bad idea.
Probably worth asking. But that's why you got to PVR the show on TSN or catch it YouTube Live.
Yes.
YouTube Live.
Everywhere.
Every single show is on the TSN YouTube channel.
There it is.
Look at the O-Dog. Professional walk-in. As if you didn't have a show that was live on air. But it's all good.
My bad.
It's all good. All right, boys. Well, it's been a blast, man. We want to thank the Argos for having us down here, right? The CFL, TSN, everyone for putting this together. We got to do this more often. This is as fun as it gets. Thanks to Ryan Dinwiddie. We had everyone join us around the table. Keith Pelley for coming in. You went Larry King on Keith a little bit there. I was proud of you. I thought you went Larry King on Keith.
He was Larry King.
You chimed in a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks to everyone behind the scenes for helping out. We appreciate it. We're out of here. Enjoy your evenings. Enjoy the games tonight. We're back tomorrow at...
Now everything's broken. 4 p.m.
We'll chat then.